Welcome to Caldwell County Today. I'm Paige Counts, Public Information Officer for Caldwell County. Joining me today is Debbie Eller with Communities and Schools and Katie Tocci with Teacher Treasures. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And before we went on air, we were talking about all the things going on. I know that it's, still summer, but school will be starting back soon.
Before you know it.
And you need to prepare for that.
Right. That's in the summer months is when we prepare for what's going to happen during the school year. And without that preparation, it makes it more difficult.
And Debbie, I'm going to start with you. Communities and Schools, COVID hit you hard, like many organizations. Talk to me about what your need is now.
I think our greatest need right now, the community's been giving, and we want to thank everybody who's donated and supported, and please continue to do that. We're not, by all means, not completely out of those woods yet, but our volunteers, it really hit us hard with our volunteer base, which we call mentors. Our mentors, and those are people that spend one-on-one time, quality time with students. Course for 2 years and a half, no one could come into the schools, so it was virtual. Well, we found out that virtual really didn't work. The kids really didn't engage. You can't build a relationship that way. If you already know people, like when you call family on FaceTime, you've already got a relationship.
Right.
But when you're trying to build a relationship, that really doesn't work. And I want to just give a little story to tell you how committed some of our mentors are. And we have a mentor that actually was he was Mentor of the Year one year. His name's Larry Humphreys. I'll just dote on him a little bit here. He actually sat in a parking lot where he could get internet connection because he lives out in the K-8 communities and didn't have internet connection out there. Drove into town, sat in a parking lot where he could get internet connection to try and virtually mentor. And he did that every week. 2 days a week, he'd come into town and sit there and try to build that relationship with that student. And it just didn't work. But he was so committed, and he made so much extra effort. So we know if someone that's making that much effort, it just wasn't working for him, that it was just going to be difficult for everybody. Mm-hmm. So right now our need is to recruit mentors. We have lost probably half or more of the mentors that we had. People who weren't able to mentor got involved in other things. A lot of people changed jobs, and where they worked before supported mentoring, but where they work now doesn't. And it isn't that they wouldn't love to mentor, but their work environment doesn't support it, so they can't come. So right now we're just in a major recruiting mode, and just need everybody to just really dig deep down into that heart and think about what a difference they can make for a child who's already been through a couple of years of just kind of hard knocks getting through COVID, and just having that extra person to talk to, and not even talk about personal things, somebody to kid around with, somebody to have fun with, somebody that holds them accountable, says, hey, you can do better than this, we're going to do better than this. And so we're really in that recruitment mode to get some people engaged again.
What are the qualifications to be a mentor?
Well, you have to have a big heart. I'd say you have to like kids, and you have to pass a background check. We do a background check. It goes through the school system. So once you've done those two things, there's an application, background check. Then we'll connect you with one of the schools. We're at 7 schools, and we have the time slots are varied through the day, and it's during the school day. It's in a classroom setting, so there's always somebody there to monitor, to help you. You're never out there with a student by yourself. Mm-hmm. You've always got support.
And if someone's interested in volunteering, how do they reach you?
Well, right now I would say they could call me at 828-499-0074, and that's my cell number. Or they can reach out to the office at 828-929-2247. Did I say that right? I think I did, because the numbers are similar. Or they can go on our website, ciscaldwell.org, and click on mentoring, and the application is actually there.
So lots of ways to get involved.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to mention too that it's not teaching. It's not teaching a curriculum. You're just giving those kids a connection to an adult who believes in them and is going to encourage them. I mean, this is not teaching. This is just being a positive role model and someone those kids can rely on.
And if they're behind on your homework and you're helping them, believe me, I had a student, and math is not my deal. It is not my deal at all. I'm glad I'm the age I am now, and I don't have to know the math. They have to know. But if you're doing math, I know one of my students that I had, she said, Miss Debbie, you can't help me with math. And I said, get it out anyway. I said, somebody in this classroom can help us. If we get stuck, we'll just find somebody else to help us. So actually, she taught me. That was kind of the way I reversed it. You're going to teach me how to do it. When we get stuck, we're going to find help.
And I was actually thinking about that person to say, have you done your homework? You can do more. That encouragement, because I know that's what got me through school, was somebody to encourage me to say, you can do better than this. I actually had an English teacher who told me face to face, you're just kind of letting things ride, and I'm grading you on your ability, not on you're not using it.
Right.
And that push
Well,
makes such a difference.
And when they get behind, to make sure they've caught up on what they're behind. You miss a few days, you got to catch back up. It wasn't a free ride. It wasn't, yay, I got to, be home for 3 days. You have accountability for those 3 days, and you got to get caught back up. So, and they can help to remind them, did you catch up on those 3 days you were out? What can we do to get you caught up on those 3 days you were out?
I see the person, and I may be wrong, as kind of a cheerleader and a coach.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime coach. And a cheerleader, an advocate.
Yeah.
Somebody who believes in you and is going to cheer you on.
And I recall from your Facebook post of your students who graduated that they were celebrated, and I imagine some mentors were part of that celebration.
We did. We had mentors there. We had families there this year, and we celebrate. We celebrate the kids that make it, because the kids that we serve are kids that have great promise in this world. They just really need that wraparound support system to help get them through, and people to believe in them. They've got to know people believe in them.
And I think all of us need someone to believe in us. So,
Right.
I mean, our students especially do.
Yeah.
And speaking of believing in people, our teachers need someone to believe in them as well.
Absolutely.
Because the classroom, it's not what I remember from my childhood. It's a little different today.
Things are a little different.
And they have great needs.
They
Katie,
do.
talk to us about some of the needs you see that the teachers have.
So within our community, our needs have really changed, and the need is greater now than it used to be. And there are a lot of families who are not able to supply their children with the resources they need to be successful in the classroom. And the teachers are supplementing. They're using their own money, which I think we all know is not abundant many times, and trying to go out and purchase those things that their students need. They do that out of the goodness of their heart. Well, Teacher Treasures is a resource center where teachers in Caldwell County come and shop for whatever they need in their classrooms, whether it's posters and teaching resources, books, whatever they need for teaching, and whatever their students need. If it's a backpack or pencil box or a pack of markers, they do this for free. There's no cost to our teachers in Caldwell County. So that inventory actually comes from our large school tools supply drive in cooperation with Communities and Schools of Caldwell County Schools, and WSOC Channel 9. So we are really excited about that the supplies raised during the school tools supply drive go into Teacher Treasures, and that's the inventory that supports our local classrooms.
And talk to me a little bit about the school tools supply drive. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. So our collection will be August 1st through the 10th, right before school starts. So, but we're going to be out there encouraging businesses and organizations to get involved. Local businesses and organizations can be a collection site. They can do an internal employee drive. So a lot of our local businesses that are larger and have a great deal of employees will do an internal drive and do competitions among their employees and departments to raise sometimes funds and sometimes supplies that they can donate to the drive. So we'll be collecting supplies August 1st through the 10th. And then on August 10th, we're really excited about the event that we're going to do to wrap up the campaign. We'll be having our Stuff the Bus event, and we will have a bus there. We might even have two if we get lucky. And we're going to stuff them full of school supplies. And not only are we going to be encouraging our collection sites to bring those supplies to us at the Caldwell County Schools Education Center in Lenoir, but we're also going to turn it into a community event because I think our community just needs to have a little bit of fun. So we'll have faith-based organizations, nonprofit organizations, all with information about the good being done in our community because there's so much good being done. But also each booth will have a fun activity for families, food trucks and music. It's just going to be a fun way to end the summer before our kids go back to school.
Right, in the summer and celebrate the new school year. And just so that the community knows that Communities in Schools has been doing this School Tools Drive for 25 years. So this isn't a new thing to the community. It used to be smaller. We'd put barrels out in the grocery stores and the banks, you know, and people would drop off school supplies that way. And it's grown. And Dana Rosario kind of a few years ago said, let's take this in a whole new direction. And she started with the bus, and we just started, you know, making it grow. And every year it gets a little bigger. But we do depend on the community to support it. You know, and if everyone in the community sets a goal for their family of X amount of dollars to donate to that drive turns out to be a great thing. Something I always think about, I say this all the time, if everybody in the community, there's 80,000 people in this community, if everybody gave $1, that's $80,000. So if everybody spent $1 on school supplies, that's 80,000. If you have 5 people in your home, that's $5. That's $80,000 worth of school supplies that would go into Teacher's Treasure. If you think of it in that basis, and you know there's people that can't do that, so if you're able to spend $2 or $3 per person in your family, what a huge difference you can make for the children and teachers in Caldwell County.
Talk to me about some of the supplies that you're looking for, because we were talking earlier, it's not just notebooks and pencil boxes and paper, although those things are important.
Sure.
You also need craft supplies sometimes.
Right.
Things like that.
I think our biggest needs right now are glue sticks, not the bottles, because teachers are trying to avoid messes. So glue sticks are probably a number one need. Earbuds, there is so much done online now. Students are using Chromebooks more than they're using pen and paper. So earbuds are an absolute necessity. Whiteout, correction tape, that's one thing that teachers request a lot. Dry erase markers, they don't last. And you have to resupply throughout the year. So dry erase markers are a major need. And then also washable markers. I would say those are our top 5 needs. Now, you mentioned craft supplies. So people forget that teachers are very resourceful, and they will find a use for just about anything. So we do have an entire room at Teacher Treasures dedicated to craft supplies, storage solutions, just things that people would say, oh, I'm just going to toss this. No, save that bag of beads. A teacher could use that. Those egg cartons, that yarn, they can absolutely use those for projects, because those are the types of things that they're spending their money on as well, not just pencils and pencil boxes.
We also talked before we went on air about new teachers. Tell us what you do special for new teachers.
We love hosting the new teachers in Caldwell County. We actually have a day we work with Heather and Nancy at the Education Center with Caldwell County Schools, and during the new teachers training and educational development days, they bring them to teacher treasures, and we have the opportunity to host them and allow them to go through the store at their leisure before the rest of the teachers are back in school and get what they need for their classrooms. So you've got to remember, these teachers are walking into a classroom with nothing on the walls. They don't even have a stapler on their desk, and they're coming in with the opportunity to get anything they need at no cost. I mean, a lot of these teachers have just graduated college. They might still be living at home, or maybe they're in a new community that they don't know, and this is a lifeline for them. So that is the best way to kick off the school year, in my opinion.
It also gives them an opportunity to pick up the student supplies that, because they may have students that don't show up with what they need for that first day of school. And it gives them that opportunity to pick up some of those supplies, maybe put them into a little kit themselves and hand those to students that may come in without what they need. So some of the basic supplies are always needed, but the unique things that teachers spend out of their pocket in an abundance, those are treasured items for them to be able to pick up.
As we think about teacher treasures, this is something that's open throughout the school year, right?
Correct.
Tell us about your hours and normal operation during the school year.
So during the school year, we're open Monday through Thursday. We do teacher hours, 3 to 6, because they can't come before then. Now, when they have teacher work days, professional development, things like that, we do try to be open a little bit longer hours just to accommodate them a little better. So supplies are not just needed in August and September. They're needed throughout the year. So come January, the glue sticks are dried up. The markers are dried up. They're coming to restock. So teachers can come in throughout the year and get what they need. They get a new student who has needs. They come in, get what that student needs. They notice that a student has a hole in their backpack. They come in and get a backpack for that student. We are there throughout the year to make sure that the teachers and students in Caldwell County have what they need to be successful in the classroom. Now, during the summer, we're open on Wednesdays, 9 to 5. Teachers are tired. They're trying to enjoy their summer. But we do have some teachers who are planning and who are teaching summer school or working in camps and trying to get those supplies together. So we do make sure that we're available for them.
Again, before we close, I want to go back over mentoring. How do people get in touch if they're interested in being a mentor?
Okay, right now, if you just need extra information, you can call me on my cell at 828-499-0074. Or you can call the office at 828-929-2247. See, 74 and then 47. That's why I was like, oh, I said that wrong. Or you can go online to get information at ciscaldwell.org and click on mentoring.
And the school tools drive will be
August 1st through August 10th with our community Stuff the Bus event, 3 to 7 p.m. on August 10th at the Caldwell County Schools Education Center. And if businesses or organizations want to be a collection site for the drive, they can email Debbie or myself, and my email address is Katie, Katie, at teachertreasures.org, or contact me via phone at 828-291-4940.
I'd also say, if you're wanting to do an employee drive, we've sent out a lot of emails to different companies to do an employee drive. Just contact me at director@ciscaldwell.org, and we'll get that set up so that we can do an employee drive. Sometimes that's a great way for companies to get involved in their community and provide that community engagement for their employees.
And Katie, tell us again those top 5 things that teachers most often look for.
So every time you ask me, I'm going to probably change the list.
Okay. That's okay. As long as you get
because there are so many needs. Definitely glue sticks, whiteout, earbuds, dry erase markers, and washable markers. And I would add, we are running low on pencil boxes, so that's something we're going to need in abundance at the beginning of the school year.
I think too, probably we could use Kleenex.
Always.
Paper towels.
Always a need.
Hand sanitizer, just your classroom size bottle, not your huge bottle, just because we've moved away from that a little bit, but we still have, flu season, and
Yes.
teachers
Always a
love
need.
having hand sanitizer on their desk for their kids.
Ladies, is there anything else, anything I've forgotten to ask about today?
I just want to make sure the community knows that our organizations, Communities in Schools of Caldwell County, and teacher treasurers, we are so grateful. When I go to other communities and just connect with other members in other areas, they are shocked at what our community does. And we do have a generous community. There is a great need, but our community, Caldwell County, is extremely generous, and we are so fortunate to live in this area. So thank you to Caldwell County for helping make this happen.
Absolutely. We can't do it without the support of the community. That's the one thing that you don't raise a child by yourself. It takes a village to raise a child. So we need everyone in the community helping us to make sure that these students are successful and that they have lives that are going to be productive. We've got to look to the future for them, and that's our responsibility.
Thank you both for being here, and thank you for what you do for our students and our teachers. We really appreciate that.
Well, thank you for letting us come and talk.
Absolutely.
And thank you for watching Caldwell County Today.